U.S. President Donald Trump on Friday announced that the suspect had been taken into custody over the killing of right-wing activist Charlie Kirk after a massive manhunt. It comes on the third day of an intensified manhunt for the killer, the prominent conservative activist and close ally of Trump, who was shot dead at a university event in Utah, even as the authorities also released his mugshot to the public. Authorities say the shooter opened fire from a rooftop at Utah Valley University during a public debate. A single round struck Kirk in the neck. Video shows him reaching up before collapsing on ground. The killing has stunned the nation and drawn widespread condemnation. And joining us now is Alexander von Rugen, Global Affairs Analyst from Ontario in Canada. Hello, Alexander, can you just tell us what this message, what message does the swift arrest of Tyler Robinson say to the public about law enforcement's ability to respond to high-profile crimes, and how might this impact community trust in law enforcement?
Well, I think this, every case has to stand on its own merit. If the authorities take credit for a speedy arrest here, it's only because they had a family member, an informant, step forward after they released the video of the suspect caught on surveillance cameras, and someone phoned in. The suspect had managed to leave a roof, jump down from a 16-foot elevation, and walk across the street and into a wooded area. And he was not opposed because there was a lack of security on the college campus. I don't think anyone can give credit for that. So I don't think we can generalize the effectiveness of the FBI or local police in this particular case. Now, it is a high priority shooting, and they did react to the lead once they had it. They had previously arrested another bystander falsely and subsequently released him. But they acted quickly and efficiently, but not on their own merits, not on any investigative talents regarding this case.
So would you say Robinson's confession? So would you say Robinson's confession to a family member and subsequent tip to law enforcement contributed to his arrest?
Absolutely, and that's what expedited the entire matter. He went undetected. It could possibly be he would have been facially recognized from the video or not. The fact that law enforcement did not have a lead on him, they appealed to the public with the video, asking for anyone with information to come forward. That's usually an indication that they don't have any other leads.
Okay, so Alexander, what are the potential implications of this case for discussions around gun control, mental health, and political violence in the U.S.? Well,
of course, the gun control advocates will immediately step forward and say, see, we told you so. This is why we need gun control. It's important to note that there was no security, or there is a lack of general security. This is a very peaceful neighborhood in Utah. There were no metal detectors. There were no bags checked. In fact, there were people that wore firearms, which is allowed in the States, attending the rally. The security that was set up was basically within near proximity of Charlie to deal with anyone coming out of the crowd and wanting to come onto the stage. Well, that wasn't the threat. The threat was a sniper who had a 7.62 caliber bolt-action rifle, which is common in hunting and a favorite of snipers. Gun control wouldn't fix that. It's a normal rifle for hunting. So I think, although everybody wants to get on the bandwagon, I think this is clearly a case. If someone wants to shoot someone in a planned, organized fashion, it doesn't matter how many gun controls you're going to have in place, this would have happened regardless.
Right. So with all the information out there, I have to ask, do you think that the suspect walked alone?
Well, there's always conspiracy theories. Now, it's important to note that the professed suspect, Tyler Robinson, had Antifa slogans on ammunition casings targeting Charlie Kirk. So was he influenced by Antifa, which is an anti-fascist organization? I would suspect interviews and interrogation of him may lead to that. It's more important to note that Charlie Kirk was a very influential leader of the Gen Z group in terms of rallying support for President Trump in Washington. And it's further important to note that his model of approach was to go through college campuses, as he was here, and instill debate. His platform was based on good Christian ideology and intelligent responses to critics. And his forum would usually include Charlie in the center of a room surrounded by 20 chosen debaters from the college, which would engage with him, and he would debate back and forth, and he would commend them if they had good points. So he did not advocate violence. He did advocate that the far left, well, obviously he was conservative, when they can't deal with intelligent responses, they resort to violence, much like a bully would. And I think that upset a lot of people, and this is a clear indication that violence trump debate and sense and sensibility are being thrown out the window, and Antifa advocates violence when necessary, although they try to say it's out of self-defense. This clearly wasn't self-defense. I think you're going to see a movement in America, as you've seen in other parts of the world. Earlier this week in Nepal, where the Gen Zers took over the government. You've seen it in Kenya, in the latest riots, where the Gen Zers have had enough. Usually it's synonymous with them being cut off their social media. That's not going to happen in America. But to rally this group and to mobilize them, I think is both a benefit to Washington right now because of the support, but could also be a threat to Washington if the wrong side of the fence influences them and entices them to violence.
Thank you so much, Alexander. I'm sure I have more questions, but because of time, I have to go. Thank you for joining us and giving us your view on Charlie Kirk's assassination. Thank you.